What is up, collective? Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you are not, welcome back. So, what I was hearing very clearly out of nowhere, come one, come all, that scene in the Disney version of The Hunchback of Notre Dame, where they're having the Feast of Fools. Feast of Fools? Or was it they were crowning the King of Fools? I might have to look that up. But the actual scene itself, I believe, brings a deep lesson. I think that Quasimodo is so believing that his ugliness finally is his ticket into being accepted. And the crowd basically allows him to believe this until there's like a turning point where it's almost like it becomes too real. And it's almost like, okay, so it's the Feast of Fools. That is correct. Okay. So this is Topsy-Turvy Day, the celebration of a carnivalesque tradition, a concept from medieval and folk culture where, for a brief, sanctioned period, the social order is inverted. The lowly become exalted. The sacred is mocked. Rules of decorum and hierarchy are suspended. Ugliness is celebrated as beauty, and foolishness as wisdom. The direct message of the scene is the literal meaning of topsy-turvy. For one day, the powerless masses can seize control, mock their oppressors, and celebrate chaos as a release from the rigid, oppressive order of their daily lives. So, also, it says here that the core is a cruel, ironic setup because, like I said, Quasimodo, who was isolated in the bell tower, on this day he feels he has a chance for connection or acceptance. And when his face is realized that it is not a mask, the crowd's reaction is like a pivotal moment. They cheer for him at first, and they play along with the topsy-turvy spirit, but the moment that he is crowned, I think that is the turning point where they start to see him more clearly, and the entire mood shifts. They're not celebrating him, they are using him as the ultimate prop for their festival. And when they tie him to the wheel and they start throwing produce at him, the celebration of ugliness is revealed to be no other than a cruel joke. and the topsy-turvy isn't a genuine alternative. It is just basically the same old cruel song and dance in a festival's costume or mask. Um, so I got to thinking about this, and I resonated with Quasimodo's character because I too have felt that not not necessarily that it's ugliness, quite the opposite. A lot of times in my personal life, I believe that when I meet people, they see me and that's it. Nothing goes past that. It's like I'm immediately objectified into this token or a prize to be won, or it is assumed that I am not intellectual, or that I'm naive, or that my kindness is weakness. And I find that my bell tower or my private sanctuary space, it is sometimes, although simplistic, it is my escape from this sort of dynamic that we oftentimes experience in the world. But in this moment, I'm also hearing that this isn't like a one or the other thing. This is like two sides to the same coin, either being reduced to ugliness and the crowd assuming that you're a monster or a fool, or being reduced to your beauty and the world assumes that you're sweet and weak or unintelligent. In both cases, the individual's full complex humanity is erased. It's a paradox. And our experiences can be very similar, just using different faces or places to oppress us. And that is the saddest part of all, in my opinion. I think that maybe the painful, liberating truth is that at the end of the day, the game is rigged. And the crown that we sometimes are searching for is ultimately a trap. Whether you're being judged for what society deems as a flaw or if others call it a gift, the result is the same. You're being reduced. Your complex, beautiful, and messy, brilliant humanity is being sanded down to a single, easily digestible label. And I mean, if you're deemed ugly or different, then you cast the Quasimodo archetype. And if you're deemed beautiful or charismatic, then maybe you cast an archetype of an ornament. The crowd assumes that, you're sweet and simple, you don't, like, or you're not, I should say, you're not taken seriously. And in both cases, the crowd is not seeing you, they're seeing a projection, which Carl Jung says that people don't see us as we are. People see us as they see themselves. And I find that a very accurate and chilling, almost, truth that shines light on the fact that it is hard for people to see us at our depth when their perception is shallow. So the next thing that I wanted to touch on was that this actually connects to the mockingbird, and I'm a bit of a bird nerd. I love using my bird app. It records the sounds or calls that they make, and it interprets it to help you discover which bird it is that is visiting you. And the mockingbird has been coming up a lot lately. And yes, this could link to Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird. The famous line, shoot all the blue jays you want if you can hit them, but remember, it is a sin to kill a mockingbird. And why, you ask? Because mockingbirds are here simply to sing and to make music for us to enjoy. You know, they're not pests. They don't eat up people's gardens. They don't nest in corn cribs. They don't do anything except sing their hearts out for us. And how this connects to what we were previously talking about is that, quite frankly, Quasimodo is a mockingbird. He does not do one thing but ring the bells and create art and yearn for connection. He is harmless, and honestly, his essence is pure of heart, and his only real sin is his appearance. And I guess when people reduce you to your your exterior appearance, they're attacking basically your innocent, complex, I'm hearing complex, multi-dimensional self. They're basically punishing you for the crime of not fitting neatly into their idea of a mold or a box that their either self or culture has built. And your intelligence or your strength is the song that they basically refuse to hear. And their underestimation is the weapon that ultimately sets you free from the cage that they try to place you in. Whew, that was intense. Okay, that was some channeling. Um, so, with all that being said, I keep saying the number 133 as well. With all of that being said, I don't much like to be in large crowds. I am very sensitive to energy, and because of my empathic abilities, I often absorb um, feelings or frequencies. And so I was trying to come up with a way to be able to not necessarily network, but to start socializing again, because I myself have been in hermit mode for quite a while, and I don't want to be on dating apps, and I don't particularly care for social media like Facebook. And what I found was an app that is called Slowly. And the thing that I love about this is that it echoes snail mail. It is actually an app that, depending on where you are on the globe, you send these letters to these people that you're in hopes that they become your pen pal. But depending on the distance and how far away they are, determines how long it takes for your letter to get there and return. And it has been a very refreshing experience because in this app, you also don't have a profile picture. So without the distraction of seeing a face, all you're left with are words that are vibrationally resonating to you through a screen. And it is so very, it makes you feel quite vulnerable and exposed at the same time of the hidden factor of not being seen. It's quite, again, the paradox. Um, but I just wanted to share that even if you aren't a person who leaves your home much, whether you work from home or maybe you're a stay-at-home mom like me, or both like me, I work where I live, um, then maybe leaving isn't as much of an option for you. But if spirit has been nudging you to socialize, I think the point of this entire message is to not get discouraged about the way that people are going to react to who you are, who you have turned into, what you have become, because they act this way out of fear, because it is different, because they don't understand it. But I'm hearing that you have such a compassionate heart and such a patient and understanding nature that you, even in these conflicts or uh, tense moments, you are able to still see people as a soul essence, as an extension of God that is here just experiencing the what it is to be a human. And your love, your capacity to love is one of your greatest superpowers. All right, well, I think that that is a really good place to close. I really hope that this message resonated for somebody, that maybe by viewing these archetypes from a different perspective, that maybe it can either help you understand yourself or your surrounding relationships or dynamics a little bit better. If you feel called to, leave a kind word in the comments to help build community and just be the person that you needed in that moment. If you've ever experienced um, public humiliation or feeling attacked by a community of people, and if you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button and become a part of our butterfly family. And till next time, bye guys.